name is Jess from So Blessed by Jessica, and today we are going to be making the Dream House quilt by She Can Sew, and it's a free, there's going to be a free link in the description below, but it's a free pattern, and you just need 3 yards of material to work through it. So I went to our local Hobby Lobby. My goal this year is to create 25 volunteer quilt tops to donate to Project Linus. And then I also want to make some more quilt tops to donate for our local hospitals, for the incubators in the NICUs. So today's material that I'm using, I have 3 materials, and they are like little girls that I feel anyway. But here are the 3 fabrics that I am going to be using. They all come from Hobby Lobby, and they are all by Brother Sister Design Studio. And what I really enjoy about Hobby Lobby is that every other week their fabric is 40% off. So starting tomorrow, which is April 8th, is April 8th of 2024, when they open their doors, it's actually 40% off this coming week, and it's the whole week. And I really do enjoy those. That there's specials like that. So when I'm going to create my volunteer quilts, it's not so much money that is coming out of my pocket. So that's fun. I've already cut all of my fabric ahead of time. So I'm going to flip you around, set up my machine so that you can see sewing. You can see me going through the process, and I'll make a couple blocks and then skip around and show you the finished product. So I've followed all the cutting instructions that take place on pages 3, 4, and 5. So now we're on to building our block. So here are all my fabrics that I'll be using. And like I said, they come from Brother and Sister Studio out of Hobby Lobby. This fabric right here is our focal fabric for today. This is an accent fabric that I will be using that goes with fabric A. And then my accent fabric that I'm going to be using for sashing is fabric C. And the first step in our pattern, so I'm just going to take one of these. We're going to take focal fabric A, and what we are going to do is we are going to sew fabric C to both sides of A and B. We had cut 10 of these rectangles and 10 of fabric B rectangles. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and sew a couple of these together to show you what the first unit will look like. I'll probably speed up this section. All right. The thread I have today is just the same thread that I have been using, which is Orfil thread 2021, which is in my top and in my bobbin. I have my machine set up on a 1/4 inch and I have a 1/4 inch foot that has a guide on it to make sure that my 1/4 inch has accuracy, and I am stitching at a 2.0 thread length. It does not tell me which way to press, so I'm going to press towards the dark, which is the middle fabric. So I'm pressing towards my focal fabric. If I didn't press towards my focal fabric, I would see a shadow. I'll show it to you on the next one. When I take B off, I'll show you the difference between them. I'll go ahead and just cut my thread so that I can do both of them, so I can show you the difference. All right, I'm going to press this one to the white, set my seam. I'm going to set my seam on A, and I'm going to press towards the focal fabric. All right, so I hope you can see this. Okay, but if I'm not going to be able to see it on that. There's a shadow underneath. You see how you can see it underneath the white, and no matter how great of a quality you have of fabric, you'll always see that shadow underneath. And I pressed towards the white, and this one I pressed towards the focal fabric, and see there's not the shadow underneath, and here I am pressing towards. All right, I'm going to go ahead and sew up a couple more, and we'll be right back. All right, now that I'm back, I sewed just a couple units. So here is what unit B looks like with fabric B and C, and this is the other unit. I'm going to call this unit A, where you have fabric A with fabric C. Okay, so we're going to make 10 of these and 10 of these. And after you completed those, it's asking you to take, we have smaller rectangles. Let me just bring them all up. Smaller fabric A and fabric B, and smaller C sashing. And what we're going to do is we're going to create 10 of these and 10 of these. 2, 4, 6, yep, 8, 10. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our sashing and put it on the right side. Sashing and put it on the right side. So we're going to be creating, this is our next block. I love sewing. This is definitely the time that I take during the day. If you've watched my previous videos, I'm a 4th grade math and science teacher. So when I get behind my sewing machine, I just kind of decompress about the day. Love my students, so it's definitely not stressful, but it's amazing. Okay, so now here are my second unit. As you can see, I have 2 of each, and then I have 1 more cut of fabric, and these are squares, as you can see. And so I am going to take the rectangle. I like that to be directional, right? It looks like, yep. Looks like everything's horizontal. The arrows are horizontal that I've cut. I'm going to take, and this middle sashing will be the center. Go ahead and move these. So I'm going to sew them together like this, and this will be my next new unit. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Line them up. Start my stitching, stop, make sure that my bottom's lined up. Here is our new unit. Here's both versions of that new unit. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to flip them so that it matches the diagram that I see. I have the smaller feature fabric on top, the sashing and the larger. And what it's asking is whatever fabric is on the top. So this is on the top for me. I'll pull this off. I'm going to pull the fabric that matches it, that I sewed previously on the first unit. Okay. So again, whatever fabric is on top, I'm going to match the side piece. So now I'm going to sew these together. I am going to press towards this side, towards the right side. Actually, no, I'll press towards the left because that's just how it wants to lay. There's no seams to really fight with it. So I'm just going to go how it naturally wants to lay. It'll be fine. So this is our new unit. And we are going to make 10 of these and 10 of those. And after we finish making these two, there's one more piece that needs to add, and there's one more sashing. And this sashing goes across the top. And that will complete our block when we work it through. All right, and I'm just going to press up, and your block will lay flatter that way. Set my seam. Press. I don't move my iron back and forth. I don't want to stretch the fabric. And that is our block. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's going to be a very beautiful quilt. Some little person is going to be super excited to get this quilt when it arrives to them. All right, so now we're going to trim our blocks to make sure that they're 10 inches square, then sew them together this way. So I will have 4 across by 5 down. So we are making 20 blocks. Again, I'm going to have 4 alternating these prints right here. So, and I was always calling that print A. So print A, print B, print A, print B. And then when I go down, I'm going to start with B on my second row. So it's alternating, and I'll show you when I get to that. So today's a new day, and I have finished all 10 of both ways. Here's way number 1 and way number 2. It's not as perfectly stacked yet. All right, so they all have the sashing on the top. I'm just going to go ahead and put it to the side. So now we're going to start putting it together to look like this. So our focus fabric is, again, is right here. So it's the floral. So anytime I see a light pink square, I'm going to know that I need to take the floral, and it's in the lower right hand corner. So floral, arrow, floral, arrow. And here is my first row. I did cut the thread, so just keep putting it along. There we go. So I'm going to make 3 more rows that look like this. And then I'm also going to make 2 rows where instead of starting with the floral, I'm going to start with the arrow. All right, now I have all my rows sewn together. Here is row 2. I started with the arrow, floral, arrow, floral. And this is one block right here. Second block. Okay. Then I have this row, which is floral arrow, floral arrow. Okay, so I'm going to sew the bottom of this first row to the top of the second row. And when I was ironing, I intentionally press my seams opposite so that I can nest them. Remember, nesting is just like locking your seams together, right? And also when I'm sewing, I like to distribute the weight of the quilt as evenly as possible. So I just sewed the first 2 rows together out of the 5 rows. Now I'm sewing the bottom 2 rows together, and then I will add the middle row. All right, here are my bottom 2 rows. Now let's add that middle row. We are getting there. So it is coming together. I'm just going to go ahead and I know you can't see it very well yet, but I'm going to iron it out. Then to the top, this is what it is asking me to do. So I already have the top sashing. So I'm going to add, let's just put, so you can see it on all sides. All right. I'm going to add sashing to the side. So I already have the sashing on the top. I just need to add sashing to the other 2 sides. Because there's already sashing on the left and the top. Then I am going to add this border on to the top and the side. And then lastly, I'm going to add this border on. See how it's coming together? Okay. And so we'll do that, and then I will be back to show you the final product. I will do another video showing how to do borders in a future video. And here is our finished quilt top. As you can see, block A right here, block B, and then block A, block B, and then it's rotated, and then here are the 3 borders. It's beautiful. And I have enough fabric to make a whole other one. I was thinking, since I'm donating them, make sister quilts. So just in case there's 2 little girls. So again, thank you for watching along and watching the bits and pieces. If there's anything in the video that you would like me to go over, or to, if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. But we were able to complete one 3-yard quilt called the Dream House by So Can She. So if you go to sewcanshe.com, there's a free pattern for this quilt. Also, if you subscribe to, I believe it's $30, you have unlimited access to hundreds of patterns through her, through the login. And I was at Hobby Lobby again today, and this fabric is still there, so you can pick that up. I did not see these two pieces though, but there are other Hobby Lobbies in my area. I'm just gonna double triple check, but I plan on making a sister quilt again to the one that we just made. I plan on taking these quilts and bringing them to Project Linus, so towards the end of the summer when I get them all quilted up. Well, it was wonderful seeing you, and if you have any questions again, please leave your comments below. Like this video and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you again. All right, bye.